My friends, especially my MAGA friends, Trump doesn't look good. Trump looks confused. Trump looks sweaty, bloated and gaunt at the same time. But most importantly, the things coming out of his mouth don't make any sense. Donald Trump went to Charlie Kirk's Turning Point Action event in West Palm Beach, Florida over the weekend and gave what I guess we can technically still call a speech. It was so bizarre. It scared not only many people in the United States, but people around the world wondering, does this guy even have cognitively what it takes at this point to think through any political issues? I would argue that the answer is no. Here is Donald Trump at this speech. If you think the speech is bad, just wait till I show you video of the attendees a little bit later in the show. Here is Donald Trump talking about documents and again, going to these strange anecdotes, including one about Bill Clinton and his socks. This is not a man who is well. Not a man who is well.
We have some bad ones. The crucial legal precedent is laid out in the most important case on the Presidential Records Act ever on this subject, known as the Clinton, that's Bill Clinton, socks case. You know why socks? Because he took it out of his socks. I didn't take it out of my socks. I had boxes piled up in front of the White House and everybody...
In front of the toilet, actually.
He's taking pictures of them because I wasn't hiding anything. He took it out in his socks. After leaving the White House, Bill Clinton kept 79 audio tapes in his socks and in his sock drawer. That's why it's called the Clinton socks case.
It's the, think about that, it's the Clinton sock drawer. The Clinton sock drawer. Clinton sock drawer. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? And the crowd used to love this story. They're increasingly weirded out by it, interestingly enough. Trump then bravely, this is a real profile in courage. Trump announces that he's going to make a commission to investigate the causes of disease. Wow. Is medical science doing anything about that?
Kindergarten through college, you don't get anything. You don't get anything. I will also continue my long record of standing up to Big Pharma by creating a special presidential commission to investigate what is causing the decades-long increase in childhood diseases, autoimmune disorders, autism, obesity, infertility.
Doctors everywhere are like, we mostly know that stuff. Do we really talk about government waste? We need a commission to investigate a lot of that stuff. And by the way, I know we don't yet have every answer to these questions, but do we really think that the people who say government can't do anything right want to say, even though medical science is already investigating every single one of these things, we're going to put in place a government commission to investigate it? This is just the Bobby Kennedy Jr.-esque playing into the mood of distrust that Trump has had a major role in creating in the first place. Trump talking about how Washington, D.C. was beautiful under his watch because he would take down tents. And if he were to become president, he would federalize Washington, D.C., I guess take power away from Washington, D.C.'s municipality, which is a very big authoritarian overreach, I must say.
She was riding her father's car in Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July. Washington, D.C. So beautiful and not beautiful anymore. I kept it beautiful. If I saw one tent or two tents or three tents as I was coming in from the airport, I'd have them taken down immediately.
This may not even be true. As usual, it's like, if true, it's crazy. And it's probably not true.
Because I knew that you'd have 100 tents and 1,000 tents if you don't do it. But you should see Washington, D.C. right now. In Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July, 9 people were viciously shot in a single drive-by shooting that targeted an Independence Day celebration, including a 9-year-old child. It's about time for the federal government to take over Washington, D.C. and run it properly, run it with sense. Run it strongly.
And the people for small government will have the federal government take over municipalities. That's really a nice, small government idea, isn't it? Trump also promises that when he returns to office, he believes it's a matter of when, not if. The travel ban will be back even bigger than before.
Under the Trump administration, we imposed extreme vetting and put on a powerful travel ban to keep radical Islamic terrorists and jihadists out of our country.
Of course, the countries on that list were not countries that had been sources of active terror incidents in the United States. It was a very strange list in that way.
And with great success, you know that. You didn't see anything about that for 4 years, did you?
Trump's like, I banned Muslims from countries that have never sent terrorists here. And during my time in office, they didn't send any terrorists here. Wow. So like, just like for the previous years as well. Interesting.
And you would have seen a lot of it. When I return to office, the travel ban is coming back even bigger and much stronger than before.
Yep.
The United States will not be condemned for the same fate as countries like France, which are truly going through hell right now.
I guess the good news for us is this is the platform he ran on in 2020, and he lost on this platform. So that's something. And then, of course, now linking Ron DeSanctimonious to globalist establishment things.
When I'm president, it will be done very quickly. I believe in 24 hours. Now, somebody like Ron DeSantis cannot do it because he's owned and controlled by the globalist establishment who always puts America last. We all saw how quickly DeSantis reversed himself on Ukraine. You know, it's funny, the other day they were doing a straight news show. And they said, and ladies and gentlemen, we have Ron DeSantis here. And they screamed, no, it's DeSantis, you know. So that's called good branding. They can't even get his name right. The guy's introducing him as DeSantis. I love that.
Anyway, so going into the whole he's a globalist thing, we know about the anti-Semitic undertones and the entire thing. Trump doesn't really do speeches. He tells mostly fake stories that are self-aggrandizing, never took place. And he thinks they make him look good, even though they just make him look even more unhinged. But if you think this was wild, you've got to see the interview with Maria Bartiromo. Are you tired of getting crushed in the market or the volatility? There is some good news, which is that Treasury yields are surging. You can now get a whopping 5% yield on Treasury bills. That is higher than any high yield savings account that I have seen. But buying U.S. Treasuries can be a complicated process, at least it used to be. That's where our sponsor, Public.com, comes in. With Public, you can buy Treasury bills in seconds right from your phone. Couldn't be easier. Plus, Public will even automatically roll over your investments at maturity. So you have one less thing to think about. Take another thing off your plate. Treasury bills are government-backed securities, considered one of the safest investments out there. And when you buy them through Public, they are securely stored at the Bank of New York Mellon, which is the largest custodian bank in the world. No minimum hold periods, no settlement delays. You have full access to your funds whenever you need them. Put your cash to work. Earn that 5% yield by going to public.com/Pacman. Don't miss the opportunity. The link is down below.